Rifle slung. Turn my camera on because I got a police officer up here, so hopefully they're law-abiding. Another car right here, our 109. I'm not any threat to you. Please don't hurt me.
I'm not going to hurt you.
All right.
I have no intention to hurt you.
How are you today? Yeah, sure.
So what's going on?
I'm just out exercising my Second Amendment right.
I understand that. I understand that.
And this is on just because of...
nobody's threatening you. Nobody's trying to hurt you.
I understand.
Just so you know. Okay. So what are you trying to do? What's your...
I'm simply exercising my Second Amendment rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
So.
Okay. Do you live in the area?
I don't believe it. I would rather not answer any questions. At this point in time, I would like to know if I'm free to go, or if this is a detention. I mean...
No, we're just trying to find out. It's not often that we get something like this.
Sure, okay. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to normalize as much as you can in this day and age what few rights we have as American citizens. Hey. Yeah.
We understand totally. Okay. We understand the open carry. We understand that 100%. We understand you're right. Sure. You have to understand though. Sure. We don't get this call very often. Absolutely.
But y'all know the law. You know that you can see that I'm not breaking any laws.
No, you're not concealing it. It's open carry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have your ID on you?
I do.
Okay. Can I see that?
I would rather not. I mean, I know you guys have a job to do, but I also...
So you can understand the position we're in.
Sure.
The reason why I asked you, I'm very fluent with the open carry laws.
Sure,
okay?
as am I.
Okay.
It would be silly to, if you carry a firearm, period, if you weren't well informed of the laws.
Right.
Whether it be open or concealed carry. So,
what's your name?
Like I said, if I'm going to exercise one of my rights, I'm going to exercise them all. And I know that you guys have a job to do, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but somewhere along the lines, it's kind of become, when citizens exercise their rights, somehow they're being disrespectful or uncooperative. Yeah. And that's not what I'm trying to be, but I'm respectfully telling you that I don't want to answer any questions. I'm having a mutual conversation with y'all.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this.
Sure.
Okay, you're exercising your right to open carry, right?
Sure.
Okay. Let's just say you were a convicted felon. How are we supposed to know that you don't have a felony without knowing your name?
Exactly. You and I both know that criminals don't obey the law, right? By definition, they don't follow the law. We agree on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So would it make much sense if I was a convicted felon for me to be walking down the street?
Well, how about this? If I had your name and I knew who you were and you walked through Madison Heights again, okay, and we upload your name and we know that you're good, right? And then somebody else calls in and says, hey, this guy's walking down the street with his open carry rights, okay? We can say, hey, that's so-and-so. You see where I'm going with it?
Yeah, I do.
This doesn't happen.
And once again, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but at the same time, here in America, it's not innocent until proven guilty. And unfortunately, I don't have to prove my innocence in order to exercise a right.
What he's asking you to. Right. At this point, because we're going to get a million calls on it, and you know that as well as I do. How long do you plan on being in the area? So we can kind of plan
I would like to be home for the 49ers game tonight, and that's at 8:30. So I don't see myself being out here any more than a few more minutes.
Okay. I mean,
just if we get any more calls on it, we can let them know that you're okay.
All right.
You're headed eastbound, correct?
Yeah, I'm walking down here. I'm probably going to turn around at some point.
Okay, so at some point you're going to head back that way.
Yes, sir.
And we expect that possibly we're going to get a few hundred more calls, so we'll just advise them what's going on.
Well, I've actually had a bunch of honks, a bunch of thumbs up, and actually a bunch of people say thank you, for...
Absolutely. And I'm not disputing that factoid, but I'm letting you know from our side of it, we're getting a bunch of phone calls, so which is why we're out here.
Yeah.
And we hear you all the time.
And we can go on about, maybe the conversation the dispatcher needs to have with people is, okay, what is he doing? What is the person doing? I know you guys have to respond,
Listen, we've been sent out here just this one time.
Sure.
So we don't need to get into a conversation about what our dispatcher's telling people.
Right.
Okay. They're trained to handle that.
Sure.
All right. Quite obviously, you knew we were going to come out here. There's a reason you're holding the camera.
I had it strapped to my hand just in case, because I've actually had my rights violated before for doing nothing more than I'm doing now. We've all seen the YouTube videos, all right?
Well,
I've seen plenty of them. There was a man up in Washington, I believe it was Washington State, who was shot by law enforcement for the details haven't come out yet, but this is within the last week and a half. He was shot for open carrying a long gun. So
The details of that.
I hope, obviously I hope to encounter police officers that are not going to violate my rights, and I'm really happy so far with what y'all are doing.
Okay, well, and that's why I guess I'm getting at why you don't want to tell us your name, so that when somebody does call, we can say, hey, that's John Doe, and we know what he's doing.
And I'm not doing that to make your job any harder.
Yeah, you kind of are, but that's okay. That's your right.
It's not my responsibility to make your job easy. Because if everyone in our country decided they're just going to slowly but surely give away their rights for the sake of safety and making your job easier.
To be honest, and let me get to the point of, if we're talking about you giving us your name, by not giving us your name, and that's fine if you don't want to, can't do anything about it, but you're not making my job easy by doing that, you're making my job impossible by not giving it to me. If you don't want to do that, fine.
Right, well,
you're just sitting here saying, well, if I don't give you my name, I don't want to make your job easy. Well, if I don't know your name, then that part of my job is not easy, it's impossible.
We're trying to make it convenient for you while you're visiting in our city.
Well, I mean, I was out, I walked out, literally, I did a 5-mile walk yesterday, or actually a couple days ago, in Royal Oak, Troy, and didn't, I mean, I had one officer drive by, saw that I wasn't breaking any laws. They didn't stop me or nothing. So that's kind of what I'm working for.
I mean,
in Royal Oak.
But then understand that. But we've gotten calls on you, and that's the only reason why we're here. Is because we've gotten calls.
I didn't just amble by you.
Oh, I know. I understand that people are going to call, but
can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
What are you carrying?
It's an old Mosin Nagant. Okay. There isn't one of the two, but there are some rounds in there. Yeah.
Honestly, I've never seen one like it before.
And I will tell you guys that I am a concealed carry permit holder. I intentionally did not have my pistol on me today, just to set your mind at ease.
We don't even know who you are, so I mean, how are we going to know that?
Well,
right? You see what I mean by you're not helping us out?
Sure, but once again, it's not my responsibility to help you out. It's the reason I'm doing this is to try and
trying to make a point.
I'm making a point. All right, and I'm also trying to, if I can educate one person a day, I've done something worthwhile.
Well, so my suggestion to you is this. Society is foreign, okay, to the open carry long run. If they seen a handgun on the side of somebody's hip, nobody would think twice about it.
I disagree. I've had 2 people in the last, I regularly, mainly in the summertime, but I regularly open carry my handgun on a daily basis. The only time I don't carry, I work in a school. Obviously I don't bring my handgun, even though I can legally bring it into the school, I wouldn't have a job if I did. So I don't do that, because I want to keep my job. But I regularly, that's my preferred method of carrying is openly carrying my gun on my hip. It's more comfortable, and a lot of times, like I said, in the last 2 weeks, I've had 2 people come up to me and basically chastise me, asking me if I'm law enforcement, this or that, which is, the whole thing's just ludicrous, because if you thought someone was a threat to you, would you come up to them and talk to them, at Taco Bell or whatever it may be? Anyhow, I know you guys, this doesn't make your job easier, all right, but at the same time, if I'm going to exercise one of my rights, with respect, and I know that you guys hear this a lot, but with respect, I'm going to exercise them all.
I wish you would let us help you exercise your rights, okay? I really do.
How could I do that?
It's because if you come into our city, and we know who you are, and we know what you're doing, if somebody calls in, we don't have to come. You see what I'm saying?
Well, how about this? Once you as law enforcement officers see that I'm not breaking a law, your job should be done. It is not innocent or guilty until proven innocent. I have no duty to prove to you that I can legally possess it.
I was just merely saying, because it's so foreign to the general public right now, that you could be helping us out. That's all I was saying. But
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. The call we got is there's somebody walking down the street with a scoped rifle, so they got that wrong. Right, exactly. And they didn't say it was slung on your back, so we don't know.
And I know that it's not my job or your job to
educate the public as to how you're handling it. Yeah, it's not, but until we know better, we obviously are going to stop.
Now, if we get calls, now we can let people know.
We can let them know.
Well, maybe at some point there'll be a conversation where dispatchers are trained to ask some more questions. All right.
Well, that's
Again, you don't want to give a name though, so how are they going to ask questions?
I'm not the one calling the police.
Have a good night.
All right, y'all.
Take care, man.
Be safe. Thank you. You know, they were nice. I didn't really see the need to ask for name or badge numbers, but I guess somewhere along the lines, you know, I'm expected to make a law enforcement officer's job easier in order for them to allow me to exercise my right. I don't need them to allow me to exercise my right. I'm going to exercise my right. So yeah, you know, a lot of what they're saying was just you know, talking in circles, you know, using their skewed logic. So I am going to shut the camera off, and if I have to, turn it back on again. All right. Overall, you know, Madison Heights PD, pretty professional. Not ideal, but pretty good guys. I'm glad they didn't, you know, hurt me in any way, obviously. At first I wasn't sure, you know, what the one officer was motioning to me for, the first guy on scene, and I tried to put my hands out to reassure him that, you know, I wasn't a threat to him. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now.